안녕하세요, 여러분. Hallyu Reviews입니다.
Hey y'all, I'm Shamron. I'm here with my girl Sabrina, and we are Hallyu Reviews. Two Americans versus the web up and the Korean wave as it reaches across the globe. We have a love of all Korean music, but we are reacting to a complete guide to Ateez 2024.
Yes, I don't know
I feel
how
like
we.
it's important maybe to specify like
Yes,
the year.
agreed.
You never
Because
know.
we have. I don't know how we've made it this far without doing a guide so far, but it has been recommended to us, so we wanted to do
But we already
a guide.
know so much about them anyway.
We do know so much,
So
but
I'm
it's
interested to see if this is going to tell us new information.
I think there's got to be stuff we don't know, so I'm excited to take a look at it. But I love that it's 2024 because it's pretty much as recent as it's going to get. I mean, obviously we're in 2025, but with him doing the tour and all of that, like there's probably like maybe mid-year we could go into a 2025 and have more information. But I'm happy to take a look at 2024. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in and find out more about this awesome group that we love so much.
Grab some popcorn or a coffee and
Yes.
let's strap in. It's about an hour long, y'all.
A little bit of a longer watch, so we'll wait while you go ahead get something to drink. And we'll be here. All right, let's go. Oh, I love that.
Yes. And welcome. I love how he just throws the ball. Like, yes.
Aw. I like it when creators use their voices.
Ateez is an 8-member group from KQ Entertainment,
You sound lovely.
consisting of Hongjoong,
Can.
Seonghwa, Yunho, Yeosang, San,
And the pronunciations are right when
Mingi.
you do it yourself versus the AI.
Wooyoung, and Seonghwa.
Ateez.
Ateez debuted on October 24th, 2018, making them a 4th-generation K-pop group. The name Ateez originally stood for Everything Teenagers A to Z, encapsulating their goal of discussing the hardships and growing pains of youth and inspiring self-advocacy, perseverance, and the breaking of boundaries. Their fandom was officially named Ateez for Ateez plus Destiny on November 17th. The numbers 1024 and 1117 are important to Ateez and show up everywhere, such as in the song Star 1117, through which the members express their love and gratitude for Ateez.
Aww.
Number 8 for 8 members is perhaps most significant.
And as far as I know, they're the only group that has a foot motion. I don't think anybody else
Okay.
does.
I had no idea that you guys are the most successful K-pop group that's not a part of like the big 4 companies.
Oh, it's Big 4 now. So,
Their story
okay.
is one of incredible organic growth. KQ was a very small company and didn't have the funds and resources that those bigger companies had. Nonetheless, the CEO believed in Ateez's potential and took on big risks to push them into the market. KQ was very smart about choosing where to invest their money and how best to use their limited resources. For example, Ateez's debut music videos, Pirate King and Treasure, were filmed in Morocco. At the cost of travel expenses, they were able to take advantage of impressive natural landscapes as free sets.
And they're beautiful. So gorgeous.
In a recent interview,
They do a
the
great job with
CEO
that, though,
says,
using their
"We
natural
wanted to come
resources."
to the US for lessons, but we were cash-strapped. I remember deciding to dig into my own pockets to send the members to the US as planned.
We just talked about that in our KQ Fellows
The
reaction.
members spent 1 month in LA training under the name KQ Fellows. As evidence of the members' strong drive and determination,
So young
They
there.
returned as performers so skilled that they went viral for their dancing even before their debut.
Yeah, we have to react to those, the various performances.
Pick it up, bro. Baby girl, watch how you move. I got them legs on my shoes. I pop up, put it, I lose. Wait, speed it up. Look at the diamonds, they eat it up. Every 2 bitches, I beat it up. They thinking I'm wife and they lead it up. Oh wait, pints in, call up rocket. My brother put like a socket. Picking this dough, yeah, I got it. Open this if you can't lock it. Sipping that white, yeah, go to the top. Bustin' your bitch like a Glock. She like to suck on my clock. I get that money, no stop.
Following this, they were challenged by the company
Has a code name as Ateez.
to choreograph and direct performances on their own for their debut.
This is when they're doing Growl, I
Their
think.
hard work earned them high praise from key industry figures like Leah King.
표정 한 사람 한 사람 더 살아있는 게 더 느껴지고
Aww.
And Ria Hata.
Which she was just in G-Dragon's video as well.
Right.
Which we reacted
初めて
to.
じゃないようなクオリティでびっくりしました
Aww.
Queen of Swag.
This must have been after they saw her in Cakey
In
Fellas.
Cakey Fellas.
Ateez
Mhm.
consistently shows efforts to improve their performances. The members shared that they were practicing more intently than ever leading up to Coachella.
We watched that too.
We still have to do the second part. That's also on our list.
This culminated in a stunning performance that even impressed non-18 K-pop fans and locals.
I mean, how could it not?
Yeah. I know we're biased, but really, how could it not?
Even after the media was flooded with praise for Jungkook's incredible vocals, he went straight back to LA after their performance for vocal lessons.
Wow.
Hongjoong stayed to watch a few performances from other artists and went to work on new music.
I think they saw the rose there.
Gave me big inspiration. So after that, I just make music after go back to hotel.
Oh, nice. I love it. You were right back to work.
Yeah.
Besides work ethic, a major factor in Ateez's success is their commitment
agreed.
to building their own distinct image and sound.
Yes, they are undeniably Ateez.
Well, and they're always evolving. Like we've said this with every release they come out with, it's different.
While they have experimented
And that's a part of their
with the
identity,
fashion
is that they're always
they
evolving.
have a strong, recognizable flavor.
Yep, see.
How do you know it was finished?
So when we replay the song full, everyone think that oh, it's cool, and it's only Ateez can do this song, and then it finish.
That's true.
It has to, the song only could be for you and nobody else.
Yeah, I think.
The members
I think that's
work
fair.
together with their production team Eden to create songs that are not only hits, but also fit seamlessly into Ateez's discography, overarching concept, and lore. Here's a sample of some Ateez title tracks.
I cannot hear this song and not think of Stressor Things.
Their B-sides are definitely not to be skipped either.
Agreed.
So good.
Ateez are known for their hard-hitting, high-energy, and anthem-like songs. But their more vocal-heavy songs should not be overlooked when their vocals are this good.
This is the only slow song they performed at our performance.
True.
One producer was so inspired by Ateez's live vocals that he created a whole show called Seonghwa.
We reacted to that one too.
Entirely on sound.
I want to do the behind the scenes because there's like a lot that they were talking about behind the scenes. It's
Ateez
cute.
has a massive, well-developed storyline that runs through their music videos, live performances.
His acting in that is awesome.
Everyone's acting in that. It's awesome. Like,
Ooh, him and Hongjoong
And even promotional materials in the wild.
in the wild.
ATEEZ have made amazing in-depth video analyses, and there is even a lore master document. But to give you an overview, there is a World A and a World Z. World A is like our dimension. In World Z, there is a futuristic dystopian city called Strickland, ruled by a tyrannical government.
Stay with me.
Music, creative freedom, and artistic expression are banned and suppressed by brain implants. In this dimension, Ateez forms a resistance movement, calling themselves the Black Pirates, aka.
Oh, that's funny. I don't think I've ever heard them referred to as the Black
The
Pirates.
government creates android guardians, tamp them down, and Hallyu are captured.
The android guardians are the guys in white, right?
Using the Krummer to enlist the help of Hongjoong and his friends. Ateez. Every album comes in 3 versions, A, Z, and Diary. The Diary version contains diary excerpts that provide a bulk of the storyline. There are also short films released on PayQ.
Okay, I now want to get every diary version.
I have 2.
Their creative team, set designers, costume designers, hair and makeup professionals, and notably, their choreographers, Mingi and Trippin, all do amazing work to help Ateez curate their unique image and tell a story.
Agreed.
Agreed.
It very much
Ateez
is a
brings this
team
rich
effort.
lore
Well, and I
to
think they
life
work
with their
together
stunning
to help with the
performance.
choreography
They do.
as well, and I think that's what makes it so personal to them.
Exactly. And so recognizable.
It's hard to imagine any other group putting on the performances that Ateez do.
So
Agreed.
true.
Their talent has gained Ateez the title of 4th generation leaders.
Love that jacket on him.
You do like him in line. We've seen him a
I
couple
do.
times.
It just.
7 baby boys, but their impact.
I mean, I love that jacket on him too.
Well, they did get their
They
first day
focus
songs.
on their
So.
performance and ATEEZ. They aren't shy about using any opportunity to perform and see ATEEZ, whether it be K-cons, competition shows, or fan meetings. Even if these stages may be less glamorous than solo concerts.
We gotta do the one I sent you.
This mindset evidently paid off, establishing them as performers revered by their 후배s and highly praised by their peers and Seonghwa.
콩 미쳤다님께서 에이티즈의 어떤 무대를 보면서 이니미니 피처링으로 홍중이 딱이겠다 느끼셨나요?
모든 무대.
모든 무대.
저는 그냥 늘상 에이티즈님들의 팬이었어요. 이게
네네.
무대를 보고 제가 우와 너무 잘한다라고 이제 희번떡 되는
They're very exciting.
분들이었어요.
They are. That's a great word for them.
특별한 에너지가
A special
있고
energy. Yeah.
그분들만 할
They
수
do.
있는
They're just
퍼포먼스가 되게
vibrant and electric, and it's amazing.
그렇게 원래부터 피차를 해왔다고 들었어요.
네, 모든 후배들이 다 최선을 다하겠지만
Is that Sai? Yeah.
에이티즈는
Sorry, the light seems really bright today. I'm
또
seeing.
하고 열심히 하는데 잘하는 게 참 큰 특징인 것 같아요. 제가
어.
모든 아닙니다만 제
어.
판단에는
I'm no expert. I beg to differ, sir.
Right?
Aw.
Aww.
They were even named the 2020 promotional ambassadors by the Korean Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism.
Wow.
and were invited to perform at the Blue House in 2022 to celebrate the anniversary of Korea's liberation.
Wow, and they're performing Gorilla. I love it.
They have been rapidly gaining
That's like
global
JD
recognition.
performing Cricket.
Yes, yes.
Their first tour in 2019 consisted of 800-person capacity clubs.
But I wonder how exciting that
Their
was for
next
them.
tour in 2022
Right.
sold more than 43,000 tickets and grossed more than 4.6 million, marking one of the fastest rises for K-pop artists in Billboard box score history.
Wow.
In 2022, they became the first fourth-generation K-pop group to perform at the Grammy Museum,
Yes.
and were recently invited back in 2024 to cut the ribbon of the Grammy Museum's
Yes,
brand new
yes.
K-pop exhibition starring Ateez. In 2023,
We need to go see that.
We do.
That would be fun.
That would be so much fun.
The success sets a marker for smaller K-pop agencies in Korea, with the band's representative KQ Entertainment becoming the first such company outside the so-called Big Four firms to have a #1 album on the Billboard 200.
in 2024, Ateez became the first K-pop boy group to perform at Coachella thanks to their impressive live performance resume. And this summer, Ateez will head back to Morocco to become the first K-pop act to perform at Malazine and will be headliners.
So they've already done this. Yeah, it was phenomenal. Phenomenal. Poor Wooyoung could not attend because he was sick.
Anticipate bigger milestones and awards to follow.
How windy it is.
Now that you know a little about Ateez, I'll start you off on your ATV journey with a brief introduction to the members.
Yeah, it's like 15 minutes.
Every single Ateez member is a stellar dancer and performer and a visual.
Agreed.
Agreed.
They each have distinctly charming personalities, but together they are very chaotic and have a boyish energy.
Yeah,
Also agreed.
But when they're being sexy, they are distinctly
Yes.
men. Like,
They're between the ages of 23 and 26, and with only a 2-year age gap between the oldest and youngest, they are extremely close. A large proportion of 18s are OT8, meaning they can't pick a bias.
yes, that was us for a while.
And even if they do, they often have their bias wrecked by several other members.
We
So
have a lot
true.
who threaten for sure, but
Let's see how well you fare.
so far we're good.
Oh, that moment was so hot. I have that on video.
Kick that shit. I didn't know they
I
said
didn't know
that.
they said that either.
중학교 때 그 마이클 잭슨의 음악을 계속 이제 어렸을 때부터 종종 접하다가 인스트루멘탈에
I love his blue
이제
hair.
꽂힌 거예요.
Mm.
그 목소리 뒤에 있는 소리.
And red.
그때 당시에는 아무것도
Mhm.
모르니까 이게 어떻게 나오는 소리가
This is
그게
amazing.
궁금증을 가졌어요. 똥이 되게 남다르네요. 시작이 사운드 메이킹이어가지고.
He made a demo CD and mailed it to KQ, but they had no plans to create a new team at the time.
But weren't they just doing producers? They weren't looking for a group?
I
A
think
year
so.
later, the team leader found it in a storage room and contacted Hongjoong to ask if he was still making music. Hongjoong initially applied as a producer, but happily accepted the offer to become an idol instead. He is truly in love with music, spending long nights in the studio instead of going home to sleep. He has grown into a genius producer, able to create masterpieces from madness-induced visions.
Agreed.
From madness-induced visions.
Madness-induced.
That's very
Descriptive.
exact. Yeah, very descriptive. Like, I didn't realize madness was involved.
그 제목이 기억이 안 나네. 하여튼.
I hope he's able to think of the song he wants to know, because I couldn't think of mine.
I was gonna say, I think this is what he's created for Kingdom War. The Ode to Joy.
So good.
But that was on Answer, so move on.
He's an amazing rapper with a unique style. He created his iconic laughter tag to suit the pirate concept.
Really? I didn't know
He's
that.
very versatile and experiments a lot with each of his verses.
Wow, I didn't know that.
He has amazing breath control too.
He is also a surprisingly good vocalist.
Well, I love how he says, I can sing everybody's part.
Yeah.
I'm good at our position.
See?
He is like super nasty. Like his face
Super
is
nasty.
grimy with it and his whole body. Like,
I'm pretty sure he means that in a positive way. Just if somebody's watching this way in the future and they don't know, nasty meant good at the time.
Part of Ateez's demon line.
Yes, there is a demon line. Although I feel like that plays less and less of a role as they're all being like inducted, you know?
It's true.
Performing clothes
But-
and accessories. Recently, Hongjoong designed, commissioned, and personally paid for friendship rings for his members after Seonghwa expressed his desire for one.
Oh, I didn't realize it was
I didn't know
Seonghwa's idea.
Creative,
Cute.
has a strong appreciation of fashion.
And we know how
He has
Yunho
a
feels
unique
about it.
sense of style and wants to make his own
Don't you think it was a
fashion
waste of
line.
money?
This has gained him recognition from his favorite designer, Olivia Rostam, who calls him the Balmain Prince.
Really, it's an honor, pleasure, everything. You're doing so great, and anytime you wear Balmain, it just make me like more inspired to create more collections. Like really.
Hongjoong is also
Aw,
interested in
fabulous.
photography and opened an exhibition in celebration of his birthday in 2023. On top of all of this, Hongjoong is very smart and well-spoken, often using this gift to express his immensely caring heart.
Aww.
And he has a strong sense of responsibility, making him the perfect
I love
leader.
that. I watched that.
Hongjoong takes it upon himself to get involved in social causes like the Polished Man campaign, which advocates for ending violence against women and children.
And he's gotten the other members
He
involved
also
as well.
frequently makes donations to charity. Last year, he used the proceeds from his exhibition and his own money to make a 50 million won donation to the Korea Childhood Leukemia Foundation on 11/17.
Aww.
All around, Hongjoong was born to be an artist who moves people with his work. However,
진짜 얘는 연예계 능력치 빼고는 그 신이 만들 때 그걸 버렸어요. 일상생활에 손이 정말 많이 가요.
It's a good thing he has his members. Aww. It's like destiny. They were created for each other. That's in KQ, fellas.
고등학생 때부터 일 시작하고
It's the letter he originally wrote. They got stolen.
I'm glad he was able to like record this.
그래서 연습실에 있다 보니까 애들의 존재가 되게 커졌어요.
You know, I feel like he probably wouldn't have shared this prior to like KQ, fellas. Not that that was too far down the line, but for him it really was. So even in the beginning, when you see like Seonghwa put his arm on him or something, you see him flinch and not like want to show kind of that vulnerability. And I love that in a short time he's embraced it.
Let's switch up the vibe. Are we going to Mama next?
Yep.
So Hongjoong, if you don't know, is Captain. We refer to him as Daddy. This is Mama.
Seonghwa is the oldest member of the group. Together, he and Hongjoong make up the men's line. If Hongjoong is the father of Ateez,
Yeah, there we go.
Seonghwa is the mother.
이 친구는 바깥 양반이고 이 친구는 바깥 양반이고 이 친구는
소름 돋았어요. 왜냐면 애들도 항상 그렇게 비유하고.
The kids. Obviously, he's talking about the other Ateez members.
이랬는데 딱 거기서 얘기해 주시니까.
엄마 아빠 가운데 앉아.
엄마 아빠 가운데 앉고 야 자식놈들 들어와. 나 엄마 아빠 큰
Hongjoong.
아들 둘째 아들 둘째 아들 그래요. 야
He's very caring and gentle-natured.
I feel like every group needs a member like this.
His beautiful heart comes through especially well in his writing. Seonghwa is a very talented writer. He even brags about it himself. He didn't always have this kind of confidence though. Seonghwa struggled a lot with his self-confidence at the start of their career, especially regarding his looks and his singing.
내가 내 모습을 보기가 싫어서 일부러 머리도 더 길게.
It's like Yeosang.
And I was gonna say, it reminds me of
누가
Yeosang.
내 노래를 듣는 게 부끄러워서 항상 늦은 시간, 새벽이나 사람이 없는 시간.
So did he start off as a dancer maybe? Because it's not talking about his dancing, like not having. I know he was in a dance troupe and stuff.
You guys are amazing. Because of you, I learned how to love myself.
That was.
These days, Seonghwa has gained a lot of confidence.
No, that wouldn't have been in the New York concert, because that wouldn't have happened yet. Oh, his confidence is extreme. I love it.
And I love how the other members like encourage the confidence.
Self-relax into self-assurance, becoming one of the most stable vocalists in the group.
He has a very reliable, stable vocal. That's pretty.
So pretty.
Off stage, Seonghwa is wearing the clothes he wants to wear, growing out his hair the way he likes it, going live without makeup, or doing his own. And generally showing more pride in his appearance.
As he should be. That man is insane. He is. He's fabulous.
Who is the visual of Ateez?
Maybe.
Maybe. Oh!
He has a very
Is he
goofy
Mingi
and
nod?
chaotic personality.
That looks scary.
It's from the Matrix.
Is
Very
it?
Matrixy.
Members fully embrace him.
They do. They fully embrace each other. I
They
feel
do.
like. And I love how they're all on the same page with like goofiness like this.
Someone becomes a different person when he is performing, though no less himself.
Oh, that wasn't as intense as it normally
You
is.
should get the eye roll.
He has an intensity and an air of grandeur to him
Yes.
that makes the highlight of any performance.
An air of grandeur. Not like a false air of grandeur,
No.
though. Like just something about him that makes him seem very like regal almost.
Even when he's wearing scary makeup. Yes.
I mean, that looks insane.
Yes.
Insane.
I said it's so funny that I mentioned that, and then we have scary makeup come up.
Yeah.
So it's fabulous.
Since the beginning of the
Yeah, as I say, I think he got started more for the dancing. Maybe that's why he's less confident in the singing.
throughout high school. He spent his school days dreaming up every detail of his future stages. So it's no surprise that he's such a legendary performer. What may be surprising is that Seonghwa is a great rapper too. In fact, he originally auditioned at KQ as a rapper and frequently expresses the desire to do more hip-hop style songs.
Which is crazy because he is a great rapper, but his vocals, I think, outshine even the rapping.
That's Indian Nazi.
I love that when he's just on the bike.
Yeah, but I'm like, no, hold on. Put your hands on the bars, please.
He's got strings on him, I'm sure.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that
Is
either.
as mesmerizing and timeless as an entire constellation.
I love that, the three of them dancing together. I did not expect that, and that was one of my favorite parts of the Will to Power tour. Interesting, he had a shirt underneath that.
Well, and he does in some performances, and in
Does he?
others he doesn't. And I love it both.
Did he
Like,
have
I
ramen
think-
the night before? So he's like, oh no, I wear the shirt.
I think viewers were saying, or like Ateez were saying, the more he performed, the less clothing he ended up on that one scene.
Very true. Yunho! Yay! My bias.
Oh, we have the
Yunho
same
was the second
MBTI.
to join KQ after Hongjoong
Maybe that's why you
spent
love me.
6 months training alone.
Probably.
Yunho is tall, handsome, super sweet.
Tall, handsome, super sweet. What's not to love?
사실 이제 가가지고 이제 그 초인종을 눌렀는데 막 반응이 없는 거예요. 그러다가 누가 해맑게 들어오라고 열어줬습니다. 윤호였어요. 윤호가 이제 막 저 이제 긴장하고 있으니까 옆에 앉아가지고 막 서로 좋아하는 뭐 댄서 얘기도 하고 우리 윤호 천사다. 그러고 저는 계속 그랬어요.
The members have said that Yunho is the first to notice when someone is feeling down.
He is so in tune emotionally. If you and I have discussed
And that
that.
he comes to them personally to express his concern and offer comfort. He has a warm heart and is easily moved. Ateez often described Yunho as boyfriend TM.
I would agree with that.
He is also called a golden retriever because of his bubbly personality.
This is when where Son carries him off when he comes back.
International Puppy Day.
Yeah.
Come here, puppy. Let's go.
And then he goes back.
The dancer of Ateez, always cracking jokes and making the members laugh. On stage, Yunho becomes very serious about his performance.
Well, I think they all do.
Yeah.
They go into like performance mode.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that
We love so
being
much about
tall
them.
has disadvantages for dancers,
Yeah.
Yunho is so good that he became the main dancer of Ateez. He learns
There's the bunnies.
choreography like breathing and leads the others in dance practice.
근데 여기 꼭에 가자마자 차작차게 차작차
His talent consistently catches the eye of professional dancers and mentors.
We talked about reacting to this one, didn't we? Yeah.
Accurate, but always looks relaxed.
He does always look relaxed. Like sometimes I'm like, is he giving it his all? Because he looks, but he hits it and he's so clean. And you said being tall, they have to move faster to like stay in time with everyone because they have a greater distance to go. Yeah, so you've got to react to all these.
As a true dancer with excellent musicality, Yunho has impressive freestyle skills.
Oh wow. That looked like that hurt. We do. Agreed.
Yunho has been singing and dancing since he was just a kid.
Like he's 4 there.
In middle school, he joined an academy in preparation for the Arts High School entrance exam. There, he met Mingi. Yunho went on to be one of 40 students accepted to Seoul Performing Arts High School out of 500 applicants. He and Mingi stayed friends despite attending different schools. And unbeknownst to each other, they ended
This
up
is so
auditioning
sweet, the
for the same
performance.
company, KQ. Now they are living their dreams together as Ateez members.
진짜?
This is my favorite, absolute favorite things about Ateez is their membership, or their friendship.
Yunho has a very versatile singing voice. He can go very low. But also, it's
So that's him singing high.
balance.
I love that song.
He often serves as a bridge between the other members' vocals.
I've heard that, yeah.
Though he's main dancer, his voice frequently attracts the attention of professionals. His talents don't
That is such an emotional
Yunho was
song.
cast to play a central role in the drama imitation.
Such a cutie. People have been calling a lot for him to do another drama. I'm like, the poor man probably doesn't have time.
Yunho loves games and is very competitive.
That's one of the only times I've ever seen him like really upset.
And he is that boy because he's good at most things and luck is usually on his side.
Ooh, Django. He is very lucky, but I think talent has a lot to do with it too. This may or may not be one of her favorite songs. I like the little doot.
Yeosang brings a fascinating element to Ateez's discography with his incredibly full and rich yet soft voice. He is that deep voice you hear in many Ateez songs.
Which is so different than you would think just by looking at him. I wouldn't think that he'd have like this extremely deep voice. But
Especially because for a while there, I felt they tried really hard to make him like not necessarily unisex. It definitely erred on the side of being more effeminate, which is fine if that's his choice. But for him to have such a like deep voice and to have like little bows in his hair and stuff was an interesting contrast.
As a one-dimensional gimmick.
Yes, that's true. It's not just like throw him in the background.
right?
Use of his voice. Yeosang is also an amazing dancer.
What was the one that he did recently where he was so nervous, but he did that footwork, and that was like one of our favorite?
Oh, it was the concert.
MMAs?
The
Was it
MMA.
MMAs?
Was it the MMAs?
I think
It was
it's
the
the
MMAs.
MMAs, yeah.
Oh, so good. I have
He
this
was in
whole
white.
thing on video. It's amazing.
When you told him, bend these bars next time. The ones that don't bend.
And he is the king of footwork.
Yes.
I agree. That's exactly what we were just saying.
I love a good footwork, y'all.
Is he doing Maestro? It almost looked like he was doing Maestro.
Yeosang is especially captivating due to his insane visuals.
He is very handsome.
He's like secretively seductive. Like you don't realize it.
He's often
Like just
described
his little like.
See, that's what I'm talking about, like
Yes.
little berets and stuff. I said berets, I meant berets. I don't think of him as being seductive though. Maybe because he is.
I
so
do. Like when he
cute.
has like the little peekaboo abs and stomach
Oh,
and
well, yes,
all those. Like yes.
Gotcha. I know. Now I know what you mean.
마지막 콘서트인데 에이틴이 저 혹시 한 번만 누구야?
Oh. And two are down. You just killed two members.
아유 감사합니다. 아유 진짜 착하다 우리.
My team's
Yeosang
so
dreamed
generous.
of becoming a singer since he watched
So
a
cute.
performance on TV in elementary school. He wanted to go to an arts high school, but his parents were strongly against it.
His mom being a math teacher. I'm just saying, like, what academically was
So
that?
he ended up
what
Oh,
she focused
maybe.
on?
prestigious private school with the promise that he would study hard while doing music.
Good for him for being
Yeosang is
able to
very
handle
smart
both, because
and was
that's
a
a
very successful
massive
student.
I was
commitment.
like, I would let my son do music if that was something he was really
Studies
interested in.
and training.
I'm a math teacher.
I know, that's why I was asking you as a math teacher.
It's true.
Kind of focus on
If he
academics.
hadn't met Wooyoung when they trained
Honestly,
together
I
at
truly
the
think my
Korean
son should get into something entertainment-wise because he's just that
Agreed.
dynamic
Their
and
bond was so
He'd be
strong
great at
that
it.
when Yeosang decided to leave Big Hit for KQ,
That's a very sweet
Wooyoung
story as
followed him.
well.
그 이유가 뭐냐고 물어보니까 그냥 저를 보고 들어왔대요. 망하려면 저랑 같이 망하고 싶고
such a sweet story, y'all.
저랑 같이 성공하고 싶어서.
It's a good
I think it's one of the things I love so much about Ateez. It's just their commitment,
But their commitment to each other. Like the membership all has like these amazing, wonderful background stories that just make them so powerful.
And that transcend their time together as a group.
He is quiet and has an offbeat personality that is uniquely charming.
And his delivery is so deadpan. Like sometimes you think like he genuinely didn't understand. And it's like he's being funny, and it's so funny.
However, Yeosang is stronger than you might expect.
You're not allowed to play Mafia anymore.
I don't think they are.
근데 이제 저희 어머니께서 이제 얼마 전에 수술을 하셨거든요. 네, 제가 여든 못 있어요.
I remember he was really upset about that.
처음으로 뵌 거였는데 어머니께서 저를 보자마자 이제 우리 아들 이제 프로 다 됐다. 이제 엄마가 걱정 안 해도 되겠어라고.
That must have been so meaningful.
하셨는데 그게 진짜 너무 감명 깊은 거예요. 제가 뭔가 직업으로 처음으로 부모님께 인정받는 거예요. 엄마한테 너무 미안하고 그랬는데 아무튼.
That baby needs a hug.
Don't cry.
Yeah.
He's gonna get one, I'm sure. Who do you think's gonna hug him first?
Wooyoung. Or Seon.
Or Yunho.
방에서 여성이가 통화한 걸 들었어요.
Aww. And he's this upset.
Well, Wooyoung can't hug him because he's crying too.
Or they just hug each other. He didn't look well.
수술한 거 괜찮냐고. 나 이렇게 전화 통화하면서 걱정을 하는데.
Oh, Hongjoong is rubbing his back.
He's taken on every challenge without complaint, but also speaks out for himself.
He is definitely not a complainer. There you go.
에이티즈 팀으로서 장소에서 활동할 수 있는 그런 제가 되는 게 목표입니다.
True to his nickname, the human statue, he is quite stoic. But 18s know he has the softest heart.
He does. His solo work is so pretty. And it's so telling of just who he is as a person, I feel like.
I agree. The fan attracting fairy. Very true. A lot of people are drawn to Song and his performance ability.
I mean, how could you not be?
I have no idea.
Song's enthralling facial expressions make him the final member of the demon line.
So some viewers contest this
Not
and say
only
that they're
are
all
his
members
expressions
now.
captivating, but he also has a very unique and attractive
Oh, that
dancing
was
style.
such an amazing
This
dance.
is before we were
performance.
massive
I
fans.
know.
Yeah.
I think
We were
this,
like,
was, this was one of them where I was like, okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see you. I see you.
We were like, we've got to know more.
형이 진짜 노력해요. 진짜 인정한 노력. 저 연습생 들어왔을 때까지.
I love his insane ability to be the sweetest, softest, cutest member of the group, and yet he's like,
he's such a teddy bear.
As a result of his sincerity, Song improves so much that the members now recognize him as a main dancer. He is even credited for the choreography of their new title track work.
for some of the choreography. I don't think he did it all. I think Johnny Blaze did a lot of it.
Power in his moves.
And we talked about that with the choreographies. You can just see how like tight and like how much power and movement you've got to have, force you've got to have.
But he's not stiff.
Well, yeah, because we're.
He has an astonishing level of
But remember when they were originally contrasted with the dancing, he was able to do that sexy part, which is why I agree. He's powerful, but not like in a stiff way.
Son earned a junior black belt.
That reminds me when he had to pop the balloons or the apples, remember, on the trees.
Son is from Name, a rural island on the southern coast of Korea. Son is the first idol from Name and was appointed as the promotional ambassador of the region in 2021. Son loved to sing. And
I
had
love
loved
this
to
song.
sing
so
since
pretty.
elementary school.
You really hear like the breathiness that he has in these vocals
In middle
here.
school,
It's so
he told
pretty.
his father that he wanted to go to Seoul to learn. He was accepted into the prestigious Korean Arts High School and was later offered an audition at KQ, where he has been working hard ever since. Son is very polite and humble and has a strong moral compass reinforced by his father. True to his name, which means mountain, Son is a strong person who serves as a protector of those he loves.
Which is so funny because he is like that, but then he's protected by other members, like Yunho protects him a lot.
뭐 잘못을 한 거야. 어떻게 보면은
Well, that's just how they all are with each
아빠한테는
other.
좀 되게 안 좋은 잘못이었던 거지. 그래가지고 아버지가 그걸 이제 바로 잡아 주시려고 야 손바닥 대 하신 거지. 그래가지고 내가 근데 그 어린 나이에 난 지금도 그건 되게 내가 나지만 되게 내가 멋있었다고 생각하는 게 아빠 누나는 맴매하지 말라고 내가 누나 것까지 다 맞겠다고 해가지고 아빠가 그 모습이 너무 기특해가지고 안 때리셨다고 하네. 나는 그게 좀 기억이 나.
This is consistent with Son's physical appearance as he has built an impressive physique over the years.
I think someone said like his span is like 62 inches.
He also has sharp facial features, which may make him seem.
I don't think so. That would make him like
or like 60. It's wide, like it's really wide. Not 62 inches. But
centimeters,
like,
maybe.
Maybe. No, it couldn't be centimeters. That wouldn't be wide enough.
Yeah, but that's like.
How much is
5
that's
feet?
5 feet? So how much
I don't
is
think
62?
he's 5 feet.
He's not 5 feet wide.
Wide.
But
It's like a wall.
Is it 62 centimeters? Like how wide is that?
원래 이거 공포 영화를 별로 안 좋아해가지고 별로 무서워하지 않습니다. 겁이 많아요.
He gets scared easily. He does, which is another funny thing.
He does. Oh gosh, it's the funniest thing.
If you haven't watched Ateez, is in episode 4 where they do the zombies. You've got to watch that one. We reacted to it. Totally worth it.
He is. He's the softest baby.
He just loves, you know.
바닥에 불이 잘 들어오더라고요.
I think that was on Yuna's birthday.
62 centimeters, so it's 24.4 inches. Wow.
2 feet wide.
I love the healing segments that she's done.
I think when I heard this, I was like, damn. Like vocally, I was like,
oh, I love that
He is
part.
responsible for some of the most beautiful falsettos in Ateez's discography.
oh, really?
But he can also.
Yeah.
See, like the softness is gone. Like he's soft, and then there's that.
Yes. I love how she just said yeah.
Yeah. Because if you're 18, you know.
You know.
Mingi.
Mingi is the rapper with the raspy, deep voice. He is constantly
The light is going to be really bright now.
Oh yeah, it is.
both on and off stage.
Especially that reflector.
Yeah. Is that too bright?
No, it's okay.
He does have a lot of charisma. In my opinion, the perfect body in Ateez.
왔어. 이렇게 국가에 다들 좋은 하루 보내시고 저희는 이제 Good night.
Mingi started dreaming of becoming a singer after he heard a song by Kim Jong-kook when he was young.
So Turbo, I'm guessing? Cause
He would sing ballads, then started dancing hip-hop and discovered rap.
Interesting. I didn't know he
He
started with
wanted to do
those.
all three, so he decided to become an idol. To appease his parents, he waited until just after he started high school and auditioned for an agency, KQ.
But he was already at the
His
academy
performance
prior to
skills
that,
show
because
how
that's where he
all of
met, you
those
know.
years of devotion to music paid off. Despite his height, he
In
has
gray
impeccable
sweatpants,
body
dancing.
control.
I mean, you would think if they didn't, their producer would be like, don't wear gray sweatpants, you know. But I mean, it's just a vibe. It's a whole movement of gray sweatpants.
He is so fluid,
He
especially
is.
for such a powerful dancer.
He is also seriously talented at freestyle.
That's what
Well,
Yunho
and for
says.
someone who's taller too, like
Yeah. Is that harder, being more fluid when you're that tall?
I don't know, I'm not tall. I feel like you have more body to move, so it'd have to make it.
That's true. And if most dancers aren't tall, it's hard to find a role model.
Oh, I love it. Yes.
This is the Willy Wonka Mingi.
In his personal projects, we get to see Mingi lean into his vocals and his alternative style.
It's
more.
true.
His unit song with Yunho, Youth, and his solo song Tunnel.
So this is Tunnel, so we haven't done this one yet.
Are both full of heavy.
No, but we did just do
emotional
Autobahn, which was
self-reflection.
phenomenal.
So good. And Youth, of course, we love.
Yes, we've totally done you.
His like lyrics kill me. Kill me.
Right?
What does Big Precious mean to me?
Oh, that has a very isolated feel to
He
it.
went on hiatus due to his struggles with anxiety.
Well, and I believe they also said it was like back issues, but that may have been like kind of the excuse to cover up the anxiety.
Having rested and healed.
Do you ever heal from anxiety though? I think you just learn how to cope.
It's true.
His were very supportive, and it seems nowadays Mingi is confident in the direction he's taking.
I don't know if you can heal from anxiety.
I don't know if you can. I also think in some ways we've talked about this. The hiatus was rough on him as well because we've talked about his
He didn't have the
support that
support
he gets
being
from
there.
the members, particularly and when they called him constantly, but it being there, like we were just listening to one the other day about how he missed after 3 days. He just like couldn't wait to see again, like just over the holidays. So.
Well, and honestly, like
아이돌 친구 중에 있잖아.
I think they all get something from each other.
아니?
I love this. No one is like you.
Yes,
San, you're amazing.
he is.
두 명이라 민기가 빠지면 재밌을
Oh,
수가 없어.
Hongjoong.
Because his best
That's
friend, Yunho in particular, is always by Mingi's side.
Always.
I feel like Disney does a great job
While
describing
everyone else says
anxiety.
they first saw Mingi as cold and intimidating.
이제 민기가 딱 들어왔어요. 제가 이제 이렇게 제가 이렇게 앉아 있었는데 민기가
Because Mingi's so scary
이렇게
looking.
오더니 저를 쓱 보고 이렇게 가더라고요. 그래서 순간 무서웠어요.
민기 첫인상을 지금 생각해보면 정말 순수하고 정말 귀여운 그런
He's the only person I've ever heard say that.
은근히 키가 되게 큰데
Because most people are like, he's so tall.
Yeah, but taller than he is.
just tall, so.
아 그래? 난 첫인상을 그랬어.
Yunho is so fond of Mingi that he has nicknamed him Princess
Mingi Gomju.
When he's in princess mode, like
We always say there's Princess Mingi and there's Fix on Mingi.
The more you understand how accurate the name is.
And he adores, and anything wants or whatever he gets. My mom raised me like a princess.
여기 앞에 보면 이게 제 별명이 또 민키잖아요. 그래가지고 민키 공주에 맞는 생일 케이크를 저희 케이크 직원분들이 준비를 해주셨어요. 박수.
The contrast between his hard exterior and his personality is hilarious at times. Mingi is just as attached, if not more so, to Yunho.
그래서 너한테 특별하게 더 잘해줬으면 하는 것 때문에 서로.
Yes. He's like, duh. I have to explain
I
this.
love like making it.
근데
Together, Mingi and Yunho are called the twin towers of Ateez because of their height. Indeed, both are pillars of Ateez.
That's cute.
That's cute.
Wooyoung. That's an accurate description. I would say he's a jewel of
Yunho was the
Ateez.
last to join the group, but his contribution to the team is massive.
And that makes the phrase 8 makes one team all the more meaningful because he
It
was
does.
the last to join, and they're saying without him, they wouldn't be the team that they are.
Wooyoung is the ultimate people person and makes
He
friends with
does.
everyone.
We talked about this the other day, how like
He's even good with kids.
He's so good with kids.
he's so cute.
He'd be a great dad.
He would be.
He is wildly affectionate towards his members.
점점 친해지는 이제 과정이 있어야 되잖아요.
That
여기는
facial
이제 그거를
expression.
약간 좀 강조점거려요.
Wooyoung
어느 날
skips those
여기까지 봤는데 오늘 갑자기 와가지고
Why is your hand still on my butt?
머리가 갑자기 뽀뽀하고 막 그런다든지 어색했는데 지금 돌이켜보면 그게 더
Yes,
거죠.
yes.
사실 우연히가 없었으면 저희 에이티즈 멤버들이 이렇게까지
A viewer said that as well. I agree.
왜? 너 좋아한다.
Some would say he loves people too much.
딱히 얇잖아. 너가 사람한테 한번 데이면 너가 생각한 기준을 넘는 행동을 그 사람이 했을 때 그 사람을 뭔가 미워하기 이전에 그걸 믿은 자신에 대한 자책이 먼저라.
That can be hard.
사람을
That's toxic.
중요하게 생각하는 이유는 가장 큰 이유는 어렸을 때 혼자 있는 시간이 많았어요. 어떻게 보면 외로웠던 거죠. 어렸을 때부터 되게.
I didn't know his personality today was because of trauma.
생각을 해서.
Right? Aww.
그래서 전에는 되게 집착을 했었어요. 인간관계에 대해서 모두가
Oh
날
my
좋게 생각을 해야 되고
gosh.
모두가 날 다 좋아했으면 좋겠고 많은 사람들이 사랑을 줄 아는데 받을 줄을 모르는 것 같다고 생각을 했어요. 사랑을 받을 줄 아는 사람이 별로 없어요.
I agree with that.
That's very astute.
Luckily, in Ateez,
That's why I find it
Wooyoung has
odd that he's an
found
I.
friends who love him for who he is and show
Is
him
he?
in ways that
Yeah.
Wooyoung?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. Did it say he was an eye?
I thought the video literally just said he was an eye.
Yeah, that surprises me a lot.
Wooyoung is especially close with Sun. Together, they are called Yeosang.
I do feel like this group, more than any other group, has like those really close
They have a
personal
slogan,
friendships
amicus
within the
et
group.
ars, meaning a friend to the very end,
Okay, now this is saying he's an E.
which they also got
ESFJ.
tattooed.
But I could have sworn it said on there he was an I. I thought he was an E.
I think he's neat. So it may have because I didn't think you and you know had the same
He's
MBTI.
not shy to
I didn't either.
others
I thought
find
you and I had,
embarrassing
but I didn't look at the
and to be
MBTI, so I didn't see what it said.
unapologetically himself. But what makes this even more admirable is that he had to overcome a lot of fear and insecurity to become the artist he is.
Maybe that's why he bonds so well with Seonghwa. And Seonghwa, they say that Wooyoung is Seonghwa's favorite child. Although
Aww.
everyone says it's always Yeosang, like everyone's favorite is Yeosang, but like
It's Yeosang.
I've seen it said that Wooyoung is Seonghwa's favorite child.
The confidence that he has built makes him absolutely shine as a performer.
Agreed.
Agreed. He's dynamic.
And he has that
He has
mischievous,
a
sensual
distastefully
quality.
sensual,
Yes.
yet crisp style of performance.
We should do this because this is what we did with Hongjoong from Stray Kids.
Oh,
It was like
true.
performance
That
of the
dance
month or
performance?
something. Yeah.
Wooyoung often takes center stage for dance breaks and even solos. He has been dancing since he joined his middle school's dance club. He went on to study practical dance at Hongjoong Arts High School while simultaneously taking after-school hip-hop dance lessons. He became a trainee at Big Hit before following Yeosang to KQ.
Oh, that's my favorite line from that song. Oh, we just did this one recently.
Compared to the other members.
I'm just getting off my face tonight. Oh, baby, you gotta stop. See that you're calling.
So good.
I told you that I ain't picking up on more than you wanna start. 'Cause we got our problems. I love you, but I just need tonight off.
So
true. Just one night.
I felt this song.
He also does strong, powerful vocals so well. Wooyoung is very passionate and has a lot of hobbies.
He's the best
He
cook in
is
the
the
group,
best
I
at
think.
cooking and making coffee.
Yeah, remember he helped Song
Right?
with them? Like, yep.
Photography, and editing videos. He has a series called Our Side of the Story where he documents a bit more of Ateez's personal life.
We haven't done any of those yet, but they've been recommended.
He also has a strong athletic streak.
As fast as you know what.
Wow.
Wow, that was a nice pitch.
And finally,
The baby. Their personal jukebox.
Right?
Constantly. Jungho, sing.
We love Jungho.
Me too.
Jungho is the Mingi of Ateez.
And that looks like
And
the
members
maknae.
love to baby him against his will.
Yes.
I love it. He's against his will because sometimes it's so
Ironically,
against his
he
will.
might be the most mature of them all.
That's also true. Boss baby.
I don't know if he's the most mature, but
In certain scenarios, he comes across
as
it.
very like old soul.
Of Ateez. He is very competitive and loves to use his strength against his youngs.
Well, and Yeosang is also like extremely strong.
In the early
But
days
still not
of
as strong as
Ateez,
Jungho.
Jungho's skill of breaking apples with his bare hands was a viral talking point.
Look at Mingi's face in the background. He's like, is he feeling it?
He loved
I think I just love him so
especially
much.
soccer since he was young. In middle school, he joined a singing competition out of curiosity,
Oh my gosh, you're kidding.
but he won first place and went on to go all the way to a competition in Seoul, where he finished in second place overall.
Wow.
I'd love to know who finished first.
Because of
You're
his
right.
obvious talent, he was encouraged to pursue music. Although
That
he
barely
was
looks like him.
I
It's a
know,
very
that's
different
what I was
hairstyle.
saying.
for sports and music, luckily for us, he chose to become a trainee.
제가
But that's part of his lure, isn't it? Like he was doing basketball and he got injured.
14살 겨울방학 때부터 시작을 했는데 되게 정말
중학교의 생활 그리고 고등학교의 생활이 이렇게 시간이 지나면서 되게 많은 일들이 있었어요. 그냥 제가 막 계속 하는 게 맞나.
When I think we looked at that with the
내가 잘하고 있는 게 맞나라는 생각도
the
들고
was it Figure, the diary?
해야 될지 모르겠어서 방황했던 시기도 있었고 되게 좀 긴 시간을 보내고 이렇게 무대에 서서 이렇게 에이티즈라는 멤버가 되어서 이렇게 무대를 할 수 있게 되었는데 사실 제가 막 누군가에게
I'm really curious how long the process was for them to become Ateez when they started training. So like who, because I know like Jimin only trained for 6 months when he joined Big Hit to then become part of BTS, but like whoever, obviously Hongjoong and then and Mingi, like, but how long was it from then until the various members joined and they became Ateez?
목 관리도 열심히, 무대도 열심히 하는 조호가 되겠습니다. 감사합니다.
As main vocalist, Jongwon takes charge of most of the more technically demanding parts of their songs. Unlike the main vocalists of most other K-pop groups, Jongwon is more of a classical vocalist and specializes in belting, significantly contributing to the powerful, affecting sound of Ateez's discography.
Agreed. It's what like their vocals match their performance.
Agreed.
Like you couldn't be like la 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 la, and be doing those dance moves. It just wouldn't work.
Jongwon can even confidently hold his own alongside senior traditional singers. Here's him on Immortal Songs doing just that.
And didn't he feel disappointed in his performance?
He was disappointed in his performance.
Like, I think he was sick or
I think
something.
he takes second place, doesn't he?
I don't remember. I think we just saw the behind the scenes. But I could also see how you have to like that style to really appreciate it.
His solo song Everything and his OSTs like this one.
That's from Lovely Runner. That got
He
so
loves
much
watching
love.
the dramas too. Though he tends to take it easy on the dancing to serve better vocals, he never stands out from the rest of Ateez in a bad way.
And Mingi teases him about how he has the fewest dance moves.
Look at me, party. Look at me, party. Look at me, woo. Looking like a quarter lick. Run up on me, you get hit. And all my bitches with the shit. From New York, case a bitch. Looking like a.
춤을 진짜 잘 춰요. 이야. 춤을 진짜 잘 추는데 숨겨져 있어요.
But it's hidden.
왜 숨기시는 거예요? 본인을 숨겨요. 왜요? 노래에 좀 더 집중을 하느라고
라이브 하기 힘드니까.
춤추는 걸 보면은
I think T.O.P is the same way.
원탑이라고 생각이 들거든요.
이거 동의하시나요?
인정.
I can't tell anymore if that's serious about
When he freestyles, I've seen him freestyle. When he freestyles, like it's really good. Like it's really phenomenal. But I do think because he does like so many ad libs and things that
Crumping.
Yeah.
춤을 진짜 잘 춰요.
좀 힘이 세시니까 약간 힙합.
Oh, that makes sense.
오리지널 힙합 안무 느낌 있잖아요. 그런 거.
Although Yeosang is laughing, so dancing stickily.
나중에 한번 보여주실 수 있을까요? 네 알겠습니다.
Crumping is like.
He's very shy, but once he gets comfortable, he is a lovable menace.
How do you describe crumping other than like? It's almost like dance battling, like style dancing. You're like going at each other.
Isn't it more like the jerky moves?
Yes, it's like
the
very jerky,
isolation.
very like movements, but it's like hard-hitting, like forceful, like.
Gotcha. So that would make sense that his strength would be an advantage.
A lot of like foot stomping.
Yeah.
Now we're coming to the end of this guide. It may have seemed like a lot, but this is only the tip of the Ateez iceberg.
I think you did a great job.
Yeah, this is a
Ready
great
to get
guide.
on board and start your journey?
Yes, ma'am.
There's the chromer.
It's been a golden hour.
Golden hour.
First of all, if
love
you're
it.
watching at the beginning of summer 2024, check to see if concert tickets are still available.
Aw, see, that's so sweet.
Way to promote.
August 6th, DC.
Yeah,
Here are
baby.
Ateez's socials. I recommend heading
Wow,
to
this
their
is
YouTube
great.
channel to check out their music videos and their variety show Ateez. If you're wanting to get more involved, you can look into their official fan club membership and Pop, where the members do casual live streams. You can find their official Lightstick Lightini on Amazon or in K-pop stores.
Aw, welcome to Teeny Town. I love it.
Or you're a loser. Oh,
I love that she provided all the information.
yes. It's Coachella, right?
Is it? Maybe day 2. Okay, so the only critique that I could honestly say, it was well-rounded guide. I can't talk. Had a lot of information, fantastic details, but I wish that she would have mentioned something about their like Ateez's overall collab with Be First. Because they've done so many like collabs and so much with Be First that I think that that was just a little bit of just a way to bring in that other culture aspect that we love with Hallyu. But again, fantastic guide. But I love that she went into detail about the members. She talked about their personality. She talked about their, she had their MBTIs listed. Not entirely sure they were all correct. I'm going to have to check on that.
But do you think if you have changed
I think
over
if you have
time,
changed. Well, and that's true too. Your personalities do change. But I wish that something about Be First would have been mentioned because I think that they've done a great job with those collabs.
I hear what you're saying, and I think just kind of Ateez and their collabs in general.
Oh, that would have been a good point too.
Has definitely become, I feel like, a lot more of a recent thing. Like within the last couple of years, they've done a lot more of the collabing, and so maybe just a section on the collaborations, because one of the things we love so much about Ateez is their international appeal, and she touches on that briefly. But the fact that they are so much more popular, I believe, and this might be changing as they're gaining popularity in Korea, but their population, like just I think of the 18s, is far larger on the outside international like stage, which makes sense just because you're talking about more people anyway. But for K-pop, that might not always be the case. So I love how like that's a big part of who they are, and the fact that they're very like very consistently in Japan specifically.
Agreed.
Like with the all of the promotions, the
makeup.
So I heard Not Okay playing, but I didn't hear any of the other. I don't think any of the other Japanese songs other than Yunho's like single, his solo. So I think it would have been really cool to kind of touch on that a little bit, just how much a part of like J-pop essentially they are, because other groups like Twice are also, I mean, they have their own J-line and whatnot, and so, and like Big Bang, we talk about like Yeosang like being known as Delight in Japan, and so I do think it's a big part of K-pop music.
Well, and seeing as how this came out in 2024, I do wish that we'd have also mentioned, I guess, kind of like Hongjoong's presence and like the specials that he does, and that he writes for the members, and that he produces for the members. I wish that would have been mentioned in terms of just like.
So this came out before, like after Coachella, but before Mawazine, and as she's talking about tour tickets still being available, that would have been in the US obviously. This may have been before the first present came out, because Yunho's was the first present, which didn't come out until October of 2024.
But it wasn't before his presence, like to us, his 8.
Oh, well, those aren't presents. Those are different. But I see what you're saying. Like, they weren't mentioned at all.
What are they?
Yeah. They're called just numbered. It's by Hongjoong, and it's like number 1, number 2.
But I wish that just his ability to produce like his own stuff.
That's true. Right. Yeah. Well, so that was all. Those are all covers, but then now he's switching to his completely like original work. So, yeah, that's. I mean,
But
it was
he's
already an
written
hour.
the
So.
raps for those.
That's true. He
for
has
those components.
Yes, yeah.
Most of them.
I can imagine. I'd be like, it's a daunting task to
It's
try
so
to write
daunting.
a guide because how do you include all of the information that needs to be
It's
included
true.
and for a group that's been out for 60 years? And then, like we said, Ateez is special in that so many of them have relationships that predate their KQ training. And it just makes the whole experience, like, I feel like you could do a guide just on how Ateez members became Ateez. Like how the whole story with Hongjoong, which she touches on about how he was going to be a producer and it was like a year later and then he just gladly became like an idol. But it's not mentioned that he was a trainee by himself for 6 months before the next member joined. And he was so like lonely that he thought they were
so
lying
excited
when poor,
to
Yunho
get Yunho.
finally shows up. And like they were lying to me. Like I think he was on the verge of feeling like he wanted to quit. And then shows up and it's like, okay, we're doing this. And I imagine it wasn't long after Yunho joined that Mingi joined, because this is where I'd love to know kind of that timeline of the beginning to, obviously we saw them in KQ Fellas and then like debuting like 6 months later, essentially, I believe is what they were saying. Like I'd love to know where that all fits together, but that could be a guide in and of itself because it's with Yunho and Mingi being such close friends and Mingi joining because of Yunho, like was that pretty immediate or was there a time gap there? And then the other members who joined, like with Yeosang and then Wooyoung following later, like it's just really interesting to me how and when they joined. And I mean, I don't know if we have a lot of material from that time that isn't like already out, but I'd love to kind of see more of that because I mean, codename is Ateez. They are known as Ateez at that point. So that must have been, that's after KQ Fellas when they're known as KQ Fellas. So they become Ateez at some point. I'm assuming that's in codename is Ateez. I could be mistaken. But if there's something we've talked about that, like, is there something that we can watch that kind of shows them becoming Ateez? And then how long all of that was, because I've seen stuff out there with them dancing for YG, like taking part. I've seen them, I believe, dancing for JYP, like, so they were getting out there and becoming like well known and everything within the field, which was very smart, very savvy. But I'd love to know how long all those things took and at what point in that progress that they were doing these things.
From KQ to just Ateez.
Yeah, I would just love to know. And because the relationships are so important, I feel like, to most K-pop fans, but I feel like Ateez is very invested in the relationships within the group, which is why, whether you imply romantic or not, why I think there's just such an appeal for our Mats and for our Yoongi and, for our Usan. Like, all. And I know a lot of people talk about the relationship between Jungho and Yeosang, but, I don't remember what their name is, but like just that appeal, how strong of the relationships they all have is really.
But then you have
fantastic.
also like the relationship with the Topaz and.
Well, right. I feel like there's a grouping for every
like
single one of them. Which, and again, we're not saying it's romantic if that's the way you feel, to each his own. But like we're not. We've had a few people say like, oh, that's just falling for the whatever and forcing.
No, we're not.
No. We're not saying that.
But there's friendships there, and they connect in just so many different ways, and we love that.
And it affects the group dynamic and how
it does.
The mom and dad. She touched on that with. We've got dad and mom, and there are lots of funny reels when you see them split into mom's group and dad's group, and the chaos that is often Hongjoong's and the calmness that is Seonghwa's, and just and how we watch the Family Matters and that the 99s are all like the middle children, and then you've got the baby, and it's very real. You see this play out, whether on purpose or not, whether it's serving their fan base or whatever, you see these relationships play out, and it's a large part of them.
In concert as well. Like Wooyoung literally dropping water down Jungho's back, and Jungho just like casually like just continuing to do his thing until the end when he takes and pours the entire like bottle.
Revenge is a dish best served cold. Yeah,
but that's such like It's just, you see them play out. Like,
Yep.
you see them play out on stage with
Mingi like
and
proposing
then-
to, with her, or not proposing,
Well,
that's something, but the Will You Be My Valentine?
And I was going to say, like, Mingi, like, splitting up Wooyoung and Yunho
Oh, yeah.
from holding hands. Like,
Yeah,
he's like, that's my hand. And that.
Oh, and then there's when
And then-
goes and holds Sans, and
Sans
Wooyoung is
and-
trying to separate them, and you see
Wooyoung is
Mingi in the
like-
back. But then you also see during dancing like butterfly wings, like you'll see where they go a circle
They
around
circle around
Seonghwa, or
Seonghwa,
there's
and-
one where it's like Wooyoung, San, and but sees Mingi and he's dancing by himself, and Mingi's
so
kind
he's,
of
like,
watching them,
running
and
and-
he like literally dances like a butterfly across this like stage, and then he's dancing with Mingi, so Mingi's not alone. Like I don't know, maybe I've fallen for it hook, line, and sinker, but I just that investment that they have, I think you said it best.
Towards each other.
In each
Like,
other, towards
yes.
each other, the support, it's just, and this guy does a
So
great job
beautiful.
of mentioning that, touching
It
on it.
does,
She took
agreed.
the extra time to mention sort of the friendships, not all of them, but like really touching on the two that are, I think, the longest running relationships in the group. So beautiful. Very
It's a great
beautiful.
job. It was a great guide.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
did a fantastic job. 사랑해요.
Saraneo, thank you so much. Hopefully this doesn't get blocked.
고마워.
So if you have another recommendation for us for Ateez, if you are fans, make sure that you like and subscribe down below to see all of our Ateez content as it's coming out, and give some recommendations. What would you like to take a look at next?
And if you like drama, make sure you check out Hallyu Reviews, where we tell you which dramas to watch, must watch, or completely skip. Until next time, y'all.
Annyeong.
Annyeong.